What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, which you probably are because everybody is new here, I'm so happy that you decided to join me today. Today, we are going to be returning to my series, Get the Most Out of Your Palette. Today, we are going to move on to another palette that was highly requested, which to me was, a little surprising, but the people have spoken. And so my next palette that I will be reviewing in this series is, drumroll please, the Tarte Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. You guys remember this relic? So I don't think they sell this anymore, but if you're a person who owns this and always wanted to know, what the hell can I do with this thing? Well, here's your chance. The Swamp Queen palette was one of the very first palettes that I ever purchased. I remember I was watching Graveyard Girl a lot last year, and she has such an amazing and positive outlook on life and a wonderful attitude, so I definitely wanted to support her in any of her endeavors. This is kind of my first sort of foray into collecting makeup. Graveyard Girl is amazing. She obviously doesn't need my promotion, but I definitely would promote her 100%. She's very fun to watch. She has just a wide variety of things that she does on her channel, one of which is makeup, and like me, she doesn't consider herself a makeup artist, but a makeup enthusiast, which is why I gravitated toward her. I can already tell you before we even dive into this series that I think this is an incredibly versatile palette. You can get a wide variety of looks. Some of these shades I like a lot, some of these shades I do not like at all, but we're gonna use every single one as per the rules of my series. So without further ado, I think we should just get started. So first things first, I love the packaging. I think her sort of gator aesthetic, swamp aesthetic is everything, and I think it really suits her. So I think this palette was something that she probably put a lot of thought into. So in the palette, you're gonna find 9 eyeshadows. You can tell which ones I love the most. A bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. And I have used every shade in this palette already. I think I'm going to dip into some of the more neutral shades first. I think I'll start with that kind of look. I did a poll on Twitter and it was kind of a 50-50 between a sort of purpley grungy look and a natural nude look, and I think I'm just gonna go with the natural nude look today because I already have it in my brain what I want to do, so I think that'd be easier for me to execute. Also, it smells like vanilla and it's delicious. I thought while I'm here, I don't have my base on because I've been trying out the Covergirl Vitalist Elixir foundation and I wanted to show it to you on camera how it looks. I am in the very fairest shade in here. It's Ivory. It's the lightest shade in the range and it's still a bit dark for me. So as you are probably well aware, the shade range is crap. I think I'm gonna be mixing foundations today as well because I've tried it on its own and it's a bit thick, but I think with this look I really want to go dewy, natural, but I think I want to go really dewy with the skin, lots of highlighter, lots of blush, obviously. Let's just dive right in. I guess we're gonna start from the very beginning, which is a very good place to start. I'm gonna use my tried and true Smashbox primer water to prime my face, get some dewiness going. I still love this primer so much. And some people say that, like, primers are a hoax or a gimmick, which I would have to agree with them on some of them, but I do love this sort of extra layer of moisture and tack that I receive from primer water. I'm gonna mix in a little bit of my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in shade 203 just to see if I can also get a bit more like a warm undertone, because this, as you will notice on its own, is very pink. The more runny one is the Pro Glow, and this thicker one up here is the Healthy Elixir. I'm going to dot this all over my face. I probably took out way too much. And since it's got more of a dewy finish, you don't have to worry about it drying before you get to it with your brush or your beauty blender. I've never applied my foundation with a brush. I am hoping that on my next paycheck I can finally by my It's Likely Makeup and Furless collab brush set. I've been dying to try these brushes. Like, they look so beautiful, but obviously it's kind of an investment, especially if you're in Canada, because the exchange rate is not great. Also, the Healthy Elixir foundation has a smell to it, just so you know. It's scented. It's not like overly scented, but there's a scent. I'm just going to bounce this in. I also have decided, I think, that I don't like this beauty blender. It just picks up a shit ton of my foundation and like kind of just sucks it out, more so than the pink one. So if you were wondering if there was a difference, yes, there is. I'm kind of liking these two together. I mean, it's a nice formula, just the color wasn't quite sort of peachy enough for my undertones. I'm not yellow, but they're also not pink, and they're not quite neutral. Like, I have a warm undertone even though I'm a pasty white ass bitch, but it's almost like I have a peach undertone. That's really hard to find, especially in my shade range. Your girl is sheer today. The finish on this is really beautiful. So meet Wanda and Wanda, the sequel to Fast and Furious. They decide to come to the party and come hang out for our video, which, like, I don't appreciate at all. I'm gonna use my Colourpop No Filter Concealer in Fair 5, which is the fairest shade. Just go under the eyes. I usually don't take this anywhere else because I've noticed that it skips up on my nose quite a bit if I try to go in later with any product, but we are gonna take it here today because, you know, gotta figure out some way to combat those bad boys. Also, I think I'm gonna take it up on the forehead, just a teenser. I'm also gonna set really lightly today because I wanna keep the dewiness, and I'm not going anywhere tonight, so I don't have to worry about it going anywhere. That smell is still lingering, man. Just a textured mess lately. That's fine, I guess. Also, I haven't done my brows yet, and you'll see why in a second, because I am going to try something a little different today, and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna throw that onto my lid. I don't feel like priming my eyelids today. Still loving this concealer. If anyone's looking for a really affordable concealer, Colourpop's got your back. They're doing a bang up job over there. Although they are releasing so much new shit that I actually can't keep up. Okay, she is blended well enough. And I don't normally do this, but instead of baking, I think I'm just gonna lightly set with a brush, which, as you know, is a departure from my normal routine. Gonna take my Maybelline Fit Me Loose setting powder. I'm extra creasy today, so this might have been a bad idea. Oh well, we shall see how that holds. Still loving this powder as well. I'm just gonna throw a bit onto my schnoz because that guy has been super oily lately. I am ready for some new brushes. I really hope that they're still in stock by the time I get paid. And I'm just going to set my chin as well because I don't know why. I don't like a shiny chin. So that's it. That is it for my base today. I'm just gonna keep it really natural today. I'm just gonna do a little bit of concealer, and then you black out, and then 2 hours later you wake up with like glitter on your eyelids. It's fine. For my brows today, I'm gonna do a different technique than normal. I've been watching a lot of It's Likely Makeup, which is pretty normal for me actually. She has this amazing brow game right now. It is very, very strong, but it's very wispy, and I'm kind of living for it, so I thought I'd give it a try. So instead of going in with my pencil, I'm gonna take my little angle brush and my dip brow pomade in medium brown, and I'm going to roughly just sort of sketch out some lines instead of filling it in, which is kind of why you have to do foundation first, because otherwise you would just be going in with your foundation afterwards and then covering up all the wispy lines. So I think I'll clean up the bottom, but I won't clean up the top of the brow just to maintain maximum wisp. I'm gonna do the other eyebrow off camera, and I will be right back. All right, brows are all cleaned up. As always, I feel like I did the second one off camera better than the one I did on camera. I feel like you need like less product, but you need to go in with like a heavier hand, so you need to put more weight behind your strokes, and that way you'll get these sort of like really clean lines, as opposed to this where it got like a little bit crusty. Live and learn. And then I went and cleaned up underneath, and I didn't clean up on the top because that would be kind of redundant. I think we're ready to get into the palette. So for this look, we're going to start off with this brow bone shade all over the lid, which is called Big Baby. All these names have like meaning for Bunny, obviously. I have not been around her channel long enough to know all the meanings of these. I always find it really amusing how YouTubers name their shades. I always find it a little bit hilarious. So we're just gonna take that and just get a good healthy dose of it onto the lid to set our concealer. It's the perfect all over the lid shade. Especially trying to pack it into the area where I know I crease the most since I didn't put down any translucent setting powder. I'm going to go into the very well loved warm tone crease shade in the palette, which is called Natural Peaches. It is the perfect transition shade. There is a lot of kickback in this palette, by the way, for the most part. So I'm actually just going to focus this on the outer half of my lid. I think I'm just going to sort of do a look that sort of fades all the way across the eye. So next what we're going to do straight away with the same brush, I'm going to actually take the bronzer in the palette down here called Sweet Tea, and I'm going to put that in my crease. This bronzer is way too orange for anyone, I'm pretty sure, but it is a perfect warm tone brown for the crease. And it just deepens everything up perfectly, pairs really well with that first shade, and blends really nicely. To deepen and warm things up even further, I'm going to take this orange shade in the palette called Dogman, which if you watch Graveyard Girl you'd know is what she calls her hubby. If you look really closely in the pan, it has like these tiny little pieces of gold glitter in it. When you put it on, it honestly doesn't show up, which thank God, because this shade is really nice in the crease, but I don't like glitter mattes. I don't know the purpose of them and I don't get them. We'll get back to that in probably another installment of this palette. Could I blend a little more? Probably. Do I care enough to do that? No. Next up, we are just going to dip into this sort of natural shimmer shade called #SFS, which if you're a more diehard fan of Graveyard Girl, explain that to me because I don't know what that means. But we're just gonna take our finger, see if that picks up anything. And I'm just gonna pop that onto the other half of the lid. I'm really loving this sort of half and half as opposed to like a really deep crease. I think I saw Nikki tutorials do something similar and I thought it looked so pretty on her. I'm just gonna take the brush that had Dogman on it and do a little bit of a blend. I think what I'm going to do next is sort of like amp it up just a tincture. Take a little bit of my Too Faced glitter glue on a flat packing brush and just apply it on the inner third, not too far in. I think I ruined it. Yeah, maybe this wasn't the right shade to use that for. Now it just kind of looks crepey and patchy and gross. Beans. This was going so well. Now it just looks kind of poopy. Like it's really shimmery, but you can really see the line of like demarcation. Oh well, such is life on this channel. All right, well, I salvaged it as best I could. For the inner corner, I'm going to use the highlight in the palette, which is called Gator Wings. It's actually a beautiful shade, but it's got a lot of glitter in it. If you don't like glittery highlight, then this is not the highlight for you. Stunning champagne shade. I used the crap out of this when I first started doing makeup, and I'm just gonna pop this onto my inner corner. To finish up my lower lash line, I'm just going to throw up Dogman and Sweet Tea blended together, focusing it on the outer third. And I think that is it for eyeshadow today. Let's just throw on a nude liner in the waterline. Ow, ow. Going to try and scrape out the remnants of my Gimme brow and run that through the brows. I mean, I know I kind of fucked this one up, but I'm so here for these brows. Plus, once you get the hang of it, they're like really easy to do. And I'm just gonna pop some mascara on using my Essence Volume Stylist 18-hour lash extension mascara. Not bad for $7, right? Today, we're trying a new lash. I just got these off of Facebook Market. Someone was selling a single unused pair of Arimika Lashes, which I've never used before. They come in this adorable little magnetic box. Look at these. They're so soft. And they've got a thin lash band, which is my fave. Look at how wispy and beautiful they are. I think this would go perfectly with this look today. Hopefully they don't disappoint because I don't got a receipt. Oh no, they actually might be just fine. Guys, I really big eyes, so usually I don't have to trim down lashes. Well, if these are not the fluffiest, longest, wispiest lashes I have ever tried, it's a lot. I can feel them on my brow bone. And they're so soft, they do feel real. Leave me a comment if you've ever tried anything from Arimika Lash, because I couldn't find a website for one. I could only see listings on Amazon. I'm really impressed. And for, I think, $12, I'd say it's pretty worth it. Okay, let's move on to the Tarte. Just gonna throw on some bronzer real quick because it's not enough to smell like a chocolate cake. You also have to smell like a coconut chocolate cake. It's never enough bronzer, by the way. Pro tip. I'm gonna grab like a really light blush, and then I will show you how I like to use the blush in the Swamp Queen palette. I'm going to take Fortunate in my blush Bazaar. So just to sort of add a bit of a shimmer to my blush, kind of like a blush topper today, I'm going to take the blush in the palette. It is called Does This Thing Really Work? Always wanted to do that. It kind of reminds me of NARS Orgasm in the way that it has like a gold reflect in it. So I'm just gonna take like a tiny bit of it because it's super pigmented and just lightly dust it over the blush. That gold shimmer in it is really pretty, kind of like a more pigmented version of the Milani Baked blush. I think I'm gonna stave off that highlighter for now. I think I'm gonna use it in another look. I think this would be a perfect look for my strobe globe. I mean, what isn't a good look for strobe globe? It just melts effortlessly into the skin. I'm gonna pop this also onto the brow bone. I always just feel so fresh and dewy and glowy whenever I wear this highlighter, and today is no exception. Oh my god, how could I forget nose highlight? Who am I? And because I'm me, I'm going to dip into Dogman, that orange shade again, and freckle it up. Just throw in some bottom mascara and some clear brow gel to really just have maximum floof. We are just about done. I think the last thing I have to do is my lips, and I think I'm going to keep it really natural, really light. I thought the perfect pairing with this look would be the Fenty Gloss Bomb. Glosses aren't something I necessarily gravitate towards on the regular, only because I'm just a person who can't really leave it alone, like, you know, just let the gloss be. I have to constantly just be, you know, doing that with my lips. But since I ain't going anywhere tonight, I thought it would just be so perfect and so like natural and glossy to go with this sort of hyper natural look that we've got going on tonight. Another product that smells amazing. And that's all she wrote, folks. This is the completed look. The first look in the Swamp Queen chapter of Get the Most Out of Your Palette. I'm very happy with how this look turned out. It is kind of similar to the first look we did with the Dream Street palette, although I wanted to try a slightly different eyeshadow look. I feel like this is more of a elevated natural look rather than a no makeup look. What we wish we looked like when we woke up. Let me know in the comments what you think of the Swamp Queen palette so far. This first look, I really wanted to introduce you to my favorite shades in the palette. We will move on to those shades that I'm not so fond of in this palette, but that is a video for another day. I'm gonna look into this brand a little bit more and see what else I can find from them, because if they're all this quality, then I want to get another pair. You can see the shadow peeking through. You're not hiding all your work, even though they almost touch my eyebrows. So the Covergirl Vitalist Elixir foundation, I still haven't fully formed my thoughts on it yet. I think I need to play with it a little bit more before I give you my opinions, but for the most part, it's been working out pretty well. It mixed really well with my Pro Glow foundation, which is kind of a bonus for me since I don't really want to let go of my Pro Glow just yet. Also, let me know what you think of these brows. I'm still kind of feeling them out. Not super used to them yet, but I'm kind of really loving them. If you want a full brow routine on this look, just go to Jordi's YouTube channel called It's Likely Makeup. She has a full brow routine on these brows. She's done them a few times in her videos. I would just highly recommend you go follow her. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching me put this look together with the Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. I'm looking forward to the subsequent videos coming up in the series with this palette in particular. I think we're gonna get a couple more looks out of it, but we'll have to see. If you want to see more of this mug in your near future, please do not forget before you leave to subscribe to this channel. I don't have an uploading schedule yet, so if you do want to be notified every time I do upload a video, just hit the bell icon down below and then you will be notified every time it happens. I try to upload as much as I can whenever I can because, you know, you have an audition or a cabaret and then life gets in the way. Please leave any comments you would like in regards to my content and my channel, this look or this series in particular. Anything you want, just lay it all on me. Love to hear what you have to say. Also, I always forget to tell people, but I do have other social media platforms. Please go follow me on Instagram. It's at Madelaide, same spelling as the way it's spelled here. I also have a Twitter account. It is at Madsuds, which is MADDSUDZ. Please follow me on those platforms. Sometimes I do polls on my Twitter about videos. And if you ever want sort of a little peek into my other line of work, Instagram's definitely a good place for that. Sometimes I post little videos of me singing. If that's something that interests you, please go check those out. I'm gonna peace out and go sit on my couch and eat some macaroni and cheese in my bomb-ass makeup, because that is a good use of these products. Please be kind and be generous to everyone you meet out there in the world today. And hopefully I will see you on the next one. Bye.